Bianca on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. So I just shot a video about laughter and laughing, and so once I get going, so I'll get something in my head. And, when you're trying to be serious and it's there, it's like, especially if you're with a friend, like you can't look at them because you know you're going to lose it. And you know how we squash that? Why do we squash that? All right, so I want to talk today about the culprit, the source of all pain, of all suffering. And my whole channel is about fear. You would think I would say it's fear. And all my courses are Breakthrough Fear, One Big Thing, Life in the Vast Lane. Those are my 3 courses coming out. It's really not the fear. It's the belief. It's the story that is told because you believe something that creates the fear. So the fear kicks in because you told it a story. You told yourself a story that you need to be afraid. The future is not going to be okay. That you're not going to be healthy. That you're not going to be abundant. That you're never going to find somebody that's going to love you. That you're never going to be happy. You believe that. You tell yourself that story, and the fear is a byproduct of that. That's it. It's that simple. And that difficult, right? Because, okay, well, let's get rid of the belief. Well, they're pretty conditioned. We don't even realize that we have those beliefs because we're like, why am I not manifesting? I'm doing everything, Landria. I write it down. I have a vision board. I meditate. I believe. And I'm saying, no, you're not. You're not, because if there's any fear, if you feel any fear, then I want you to do one thing. Ask yourself what you believe. Because if you think, no, I know my future's going to be okay, but I'm worrying. No, then you don't really believe your future's going to be okay. You have to go back and say, what am I telling myself and why? Why am I telling myself that story? Well, my parents always told me that it's evil to have money. And okay, I just went out to a party and this guy and his wife asked me where I was from. I happen to come from a very affluent area. We didn't have the kind of money that a lot of those people had. We did very well. But the assumption was, oh, she's a rich girl, and their belief is all rich people are jerks. They're snobs, one of the guys said. And he introduces his wife to me. And I said, oh, you're from Michigan? And she says, yeah. And I said, I'm from blah, 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 blah. I'm actually from a very small little town. And she said, F you, and walked away. And her husband, who obviously has been around her, said, well, rich people are snobs. I said, A, you're assuming I'm rich. B, I'd rather be a snob than somebody who says F you because somebody came from an affluent neighborhood instead of saying, oh, wow, you're lucky. And I sit there and I go, oh, these people don't even realize these beliefs are that I'm angry because I wasn't born rich. That I knew that was going on because I know where she's from. She told me where she's from, and I was like, it was some scary stuff. Let's just say there's a movie about it with the name in an area in Michigan, and so she's got this attitude of anger and resentment, and her belief is that we're all jerks. That anybody who has money who's affluent are jerks. Instead of maybe fortunate or just experiencing being rich. If you want to experience being rich, go ahead and do it. It's not always happy. It doesn't solve any problems, I'll tell you that. And then, she's obviously struggling financially. That was mentioned. And so the solution to that has to be to change the belief, because as long as she believes that rich people are snobs or jerks, or that if they have money, they're supposed to give it to her. I've heard that one. Rich people should give it. I was like, why? What? Just go get it yourself. You know, they do. Rich people give a lot. If it's who do you think gives the millions and billions to all these foundations? People with money, corporations with money. The money sources are the ones that can give. So if you can't, go get the money. But if you have this belief that that's bad or negative, then you are creating all of it. So I'm doing this and that, but in the back of your head, it's like, ugh, rich people. Ugh, you know, and all this, it's just silly attitudes that just have based on nothing. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of rich friends, and they are just the nicest people I've ever met. Giving and just sweet and down to earth. Why? Because that's who I want to hang out with. That's who I attract. That's who I'm in alignment with, because I wouldn't hang out with somebody who's abusive or negative, whether they had money or not. There's no connection to me with the money thing. It's just, if somebody's a jerk, they're a jerk. Great, go be a jerk. You know, that's your journey. I don't want to be around that. That's negative energy. So if your belief is connected to this is that, and they're that, and they're that, and that's all judgment, that's negative too. If you are struggling with anything, it's not fear, it's belief that creates the fear, and then you fuel it. Oh, then that fear becomes... You know, I have a dream. I have a dream. And you're in it. We're all in it. And we all go, pop, the bubble is gone, and we go, it's happening right now. You know that. You can feel it. Oh my gosh. All that is all made up. It's all made up. Well, so-and-so said, who cares what your parents said? What, really? Seriously? Do they have all the answers? No. And where'd they get their stuff? From somebody else and somebody else, or their bad experiences, or their judgment, or their what. We're all just human. Don't put somebody above yourself. You have access to all the answers. Sorry, you do. No excuse. Don't be calling me if somebody wants me to make sure that they can have children, even though that they're incapable of doing that because they're too old. What? Hey, thank you for having so much confidence in me and my manifesting capabilities, which are pretty darn powerful. You know why? Pulling those veils down. When I have any doubt, I'm going through something right now that's a huge move for me, and I'm not doubting it. It's just that there's a little bit of uncomfortableness of having to make a big move right now, but I know if I don't, that I will not expand. So you will feel feeling, you will have uncomfortable feelings. And I'm asking myself, is there fear? No, actually there's no, that's true. I don't really have any fear. To be honest with you, there's no fear. Just going to have to let go of some things. Can't take it with you, right? And I'm like, in order for me to do certain things and travel, I'm going to have to leave the things that I love. I have to make that decision. Or I could stay in a certain situation, and that would be cool too, but that's not me. And so you're going to have to push yourself into some very uncomfortable zones. But if you have a fear and a belief behind that that's stopping you from really expanding, doing your thing, doing the things you want, you got to address that. The rest is just be uncomfortable in expansion. Expansion is always uncomfortable. Change is not our natural state of being. We're not comfortable with that. I'd say very few people, including those people like me, who are constantly changing and stepping into that zone, still feel that discomfort. We do. I don't know if you know that. And sometimes I have fear, but I don't act on it. It just sort of floats by like a cloud. So I want you to just understand that if there's something you need to change in your life, you're not really believing that you're capable of doing it. You're not believing that you deserve it. You're not believing certain things. So I've got some really exciting videos coming up. Wow, it's raining out there. So I'm going to wrap this up. Take a good look at that. Fear is a false belief back here that's telling you something that you can change at any point. And then the fear dissipates because there's no story anymore. You're whole, perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious and happy. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.